Health England suggests COVID-19 is continuing to spread faster in some regions of the UK. The government says the overall so-called reproductive number is below 1. That means the number of people catching it is effectively going down. But one study suggests the R value is actually increasing in some areas, particularly in the northwest. Let's talk some more about all of this with Dr. Bharat Pankhania. He's a senior clinical lecturer at the University of Exeter. Hello to you.
Hello.
Look, this is interesting, isn't it? Cambridge University believe the R has gone above 1 in the northwest and could have gone above 1 in the southwest, where you are as well. And yet there's no discussion of reversing the easing of lockdown measures. Is that right, in your opinion?
It is right, and it is very unfortunate. We have always felt that with the large background number of cases, about 50,000 new cases per week, that is very large number. So inevitably, when we start moving about and mingling with other human beings, people will get infected and generate more cases, and then the basic effective reproduction number will go up. The reproduction number is just all about how many new cases one infected person generates. And it is inevitable, it's basic science, that when one is infected and is mingling with others, they will make new cases.
I mean, politicians have made much about the R number and the importance of it staying below 1. Indeed, the Prime Minister himself, I think it was the 24th of May, saying we must keep the R below 1. Do you think, then, that this is politics at play at the moment in the sort of playing down of the regional disparities that the Cambridge University study has found?
I think it is a failure to grasp basic mathematics, because if on the one hand the formula for R is that if you meet other susceptible people, you will infect them, and then you have the exact opposite of reducing the R naught. In other words, you're lifting the lockdown. So by lifting the lockdown plus a large number of background cases, R will inevitably go up. It's basic fundamental science.
So in response then to that, do you think the government should be saying, OK, listen, the R is above 1 in places like Liverpool, places like Manchester, possibly in the southwest. Let's reintroduce lockdown there?
Oh, absolutely. But nobody's listening. Nobody wants to do this. In fact, by the government's own alert levels, we are at alert level 4, and we know what alert level 4 tells us to do, which is tighter lockdown, shutdown, less mingling, less interactions with fellow human beings. And we are behaving as if we were in alert level 3 when we are not there. And on top of that, our testing is not universal, our contact tracing is not universal and fully operational, and therefore we should really be doing what we promised we would do, which is shut down. You are generating too many new cases.
There is a time lag, isn't there, between actions and the R rate changing. Do you predict that we might see the R rate go up in places like London or Cardiff, where we've seen these huge protests of people failing to social distance?
That, and for many other reasons as well. Therefore, people took some antibody tests to work out how many people have been truly infected. And the evidence is that only 10% of the people have actually been infected. Therefore, 90% of the population is still waiting to get infected. Therefore, we have a very susceptible population. And then when that susceptible population starts to mingle, of course we will have new cases. Of course we will have a rise in number of cases, and therefore this so-called R number goes up.
And the R naturally wants to be at around 3, doesn't it? But of course, we've seen some science emerging about the K number, that of course everybody infects a different number of people because some people behave differently from others. Just explain the importance of the K number, if you will.
So this is referring to how many new cases in different environments can you create. Nobody is as such a super spreader. everyone is either infectious or not infectious, especially adults. With children, it's a different story. So if you are in a confined place and everybody else is susceptible, and you spend a longer period of time with all these people who are susceptible, they get infected, you generate a lot of cases. Whereas, on the other hand, say you went out for a walk in the park and you were infected and infectious, but you were out in the open space. That's a completely different environment, and you will generate a lot fewer, if any, cases in that different circumstance.
So do you think at the moment we're playing a little bit of a game of Russian roulette, and we could end up seeing a second spike quite soon, or even a third spike in the future?
Unfortunately, yes. And it saddens me because we went into the lockdown late, and as a result of going into lockdown late, it takes much, much longer to regain control. Furthermore, our lockdown was not rigid enough. Therefore, we have, as I said, so many cases per week. Therefore, it is inevitable that we will get second and third spikes. It's just normal biology.
And do you feel frustrated when you see how we compare as a country with other countries around the world and you know, sort of world beaters at doing badly at handling this?
Indeed. And, you know, I have always, you know, I have been in this business, so I have always ranked ourselves as the best of the best. And considering we are the best of the best, it's very disappointing that we've taken serial false steps since January. And you think, why are we doing this? We went in late, we've got to pay the price, stay in late longer.
OK, Dr. Bharat Pankhania, really interesting to talk to you. Thanks very much.